Hello, welcome to day 6 of our JUNEwary challenge 2026. It is the 13th of June today, our 6th day of learning. We will have a rest day tomorrow where you can work on yesterday and today especially, and fitting it in with our A section that we had before. So today we've got this triplet quaver, which is these quavers or the eighth notes with the 3 written above it. Leading into bar 21, and then we've got some more of those same things happening 3 bars in. Okay, so I will go over a little bit how to do those amongst other things. What would be really useful is to take our thinking away from subdividing all the way in all the quavers and all the eighth notes. So because of the beginning and the timing, I kind of had you counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you have that pull as to do you emphasize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is the 3/4 feel, or do you emphasize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is the 6/8 feel? Okay, both same number of quavers ending up happening in the bar, same number of eighth notes, but the feel and the vibe. Now I want you to think in, it is in 3/4. Think of the crotchet beats. So it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3. And we might subdivide with 1 and 2 and 3 and initially. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play from bar 17, what we learnt yesterday, and I'm going to play through to the end of today, and then we'll take a deep dive into it. Okay, so here we go from bar 17. Okay, and I will count you in just in case you're already confident and want to go for it. It would be 1, 2, 3, and... stop for now. Okay, so we have these triplets. Let's get this nailed first of all. There are different structural ways you can think of it. So a triplet is 3 quaver or eighth notes slotting into the space where there once was 2, and it's unusual, so it has the 3 marked above it. It's not that we've added an extra quaver value in that bar, an extra eighth note value in that bar. We haven't. We've got the D minim. I'm looking at bar 20, the end of yesterday's. Got the D minim, 1, 2, and then da 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 boom. Now some people like to put words to these things, so you could go strawberry cake, cake being where we landed, yeah? Strawberry boom. So they're still equal length to each other. Those 3 notes, it's not ya da da dum, it's ya da da dum. Strawberry pie, strawberry cake. Okay. Ya da da dum. Okay. So strawberry's a nice word for it. Okay. And if we allow ourselves to have stretched our thinking into these crotchet feels, these quarter note feels, then we can happily change from boom, 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 strawberry, boom, 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 strawberry, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, strawberry, join in, 2, 1, 2, strawberry, 1, 2, 1, 2, strawberry. So what we're doing there is we've got the quavers as they've existed so far for us, 1 and 2 and And then the way that we can go from those 2 in the beat, 1, 2, 1, 2, strawberry, boom, 2, 1, 2, strawberry. And one of the things with triplets, I almost feel like time stretches around them. There is so much more time to them than you think. We've only got 1 extra note in there and we're subdividing it through. So each one is worth 2/3 what they were, and and it works. So just breathe into strawberry. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to do much more talking about that now, other than to allow us into it. So if we go with that right hand, okay, so we have played. What's the best place to come in? I think let's do the walk down to the D, which is in bar 20. So we're looking at the last bar and a half of yesterday. And we've got A, G, F, D. Then we're going to get ready on these triplets going up to what's coming. Okay, and that in itself is a move. So we've got A, G, F, D, which is how yesterday ended. We want to let that ring out a bit, but then be getting ready on C, D, F, G, 1, 2, gap, 1, 2. So 4, 3, gap, 2, 1. Okay, and then it's strawberry cake. Okay, it's hard to do that together without me having counted you in, but it will be strawberry cake. Okay, so we're going to go from A, G, F, and then we've got that D minim or half note. Okay, so your count is going to be 1, 2, da, dee, da, dum. Strawberry cake or pie, whatever you want it to be. Okay, so ready with what we're coming in? 1 and 2, da, dee, da. 1, 2, strawberry pie. Okay, let's do that again. Now you know with me, you're on the same page. Okay, so it'll be a counting of the 1 and 2. Ready? Shoulders released. Little roll if need be. Okay, ready? 1 and 2. Ready? Strawberry. Okay, and the thumb, the G at the beginning of today's learning. Or the beginning of today's line anyway, bar 21. Okay, having got to that G, we will have done it with a thumb, so we'll want to really allow it to be beautiful. Okay, we're then moving similarly to how we did yesterday. So we have A, B. Ooh, are we though? Yesterday we did A, B, F, D. This one is A, B, G, D. Really watch for that. I was about to treat it as though it was identical, so I'm going to put a circle around that and maybe even a pair of specs to remind me, whoa, not what you're thinking. So A, B, G, bigger reach, A, B, G, D. Then we have E, D, B, and then a C at the beginning of what's coming up. So E, D, and B. I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to get my thumb ready on the C at the beginning of the next bar. Then as I look ahead, from that C I would go down a note, but then I've got 3 rising. So I'm going to put my 3 on that B. And these are all strawberries, but let's just talk it through for the minute. So we'd play the C. The 2 is going to go on the C, and my thumb's going to reach for the F. Quite a big gap there, one of the biggest we've done so far in this piece. So we're going to go 3, 2. My 3 now needs to go on the C, which is the note I've just played. So I'm going to do it as I play the top note. My 2 and 1 are going on the F and the G. So again, a big gap between 3 and 2 this time. My 3 is going to get ready on the F before I've played that one. My 2 is going on to that G we've just played, and my thumb's reaching up again for the C. Okay, so if we were to start at the beginning of that, those last 2 bars, my thumb is on the C from what we've just done. My finger 3 is on the B. Okay, and we might just practice those moves, sort of a little bit of silent practice, thinking about where we go next, not worrying too much about time, but getting a bit of movement through. And then we can practice. We'll do this really nice and slowly. So we're going to go strawberry, strawberry, strawberry pie. Okay, so I'm going to try and stay connected until we get to that pie. We land on the pie and then we can breathe and relax. We can relax before it, actually. The more relaxed we are, the smoother this will go. But I mean, we can release being on the strings. Okay, so we're just going to do these last 2 bars in the right hand, and I'm going to say strawberry over the top of it. Okay, so I'll give us a count in. I'm going to give us a full bar, and we're now sort of trying to think in these longer beats, because then it's easy. We're not already thinking in 2 subdivisions. We can allow ourselves this strawberry, this 3 subdivision. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and strawberry, strawberry, strawberry pie. Okay, don't worry if that didn't happen yet. Give your arm a bit of a shake out, maybe a little roll of your shoulders. We'll give that another go. C, B, C, F. Okay, got those bigger gaps. Here's our count. 1, 2, 3, and strawberry, strawberry, strawberry pie. Okay, of course the knack then is going to be coming into it, not with strawberries. Okay, so if we come in with the 3 actual quavers that come in, they're not triplets, at the end of that bar 22. So we're looking at this last line, halfway through that second bar. E, D, B, strawberry. Okay, so I'm going to give a count, and maybe I'll just demonstrate for a minute, so just have a listen. The count is 1, 2, and 3, and strawberry, strawberry, strawberry pie. Okay, so you're going to try that with me. E, D, B. And if you're not getting this right this second because of the notes, don't worry. Do some work on it and then come back and try it again with me. All right. I'm working on the notes making sense to you, and they may be too new yet to make sense, so don't stress. Here's our count. Okay, we're coming in halfway through bar 22, which is that second bar of the line. Here we go. 1 and 2. Strawberry, strawberry. Good job. Okay, well done. So that's the right hand. Our left hand, thankfully, is doing some similar stuff to what we did yesterday. So we're starting down on the E, B, E. Now we may, do you remember that yesterday when we ended? Tried to damp that E. If we damp it with a nice stretched 4, then these fingers can already be where we need to be. If we take it all the way down there, we've then got to reach and find. If you stretch the 4 to damp, then 2 and 1 can kind of just hop on. It's the octave and the 5th, the thing I call one of those. E, B, E, and we're going to cross under to the F and the G. Just like we did in the first bar of yesterday. And moving on in the same way. That was starting 1 below the blacks. We're now going 1 below the reds. I'm going to let my focus be on my thumb and opening up. The feel of an octave is hopefully a comfortable feel for you. And my second finger just falls open onto that F, the 5th in the middle. This time when we cross under, we're going to a triad. So we'll end up on the D and the F. Okay. So we'd go, ready, B, F, cross under, D, F. Then we've got an F right near the bottom of our harp. So again, I'm going to go with a finger 4 so that I don't travel too far, because while that's ringing out and we're busy doing strawberries in our right hand, the left hand wants to come up nice and high, and it's going to play an octave and a fifth, one of those, but all the way up here. Quite a different feel for our left hand up here. And it's on quite nicely. It's on the coloured strings. It's on the black with the red in the middle. Open up to the black, finger 2 on the red, which is really handy as we've been busy thinking about strawberries and getting our top hand on. We're probably really focusing here. Might have to move away, get the focal length right if you're wearing glasses or not. So we have, and the right hand is playing where this wants to go. So we've got to kind of hover, and then I come on, and it's a tadium. We'll try and get the tadium to land with the on the top note. Okay, that's what we're aiming for. Okay, independently, left hand's quite straightforward feeling, right hand just getting familiar with where the strawberries are, I think. It's really handy to think of them in those groups of 3, so we lean into the straw. Strawberry, 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 pie. So it's the thumb each time that we can lean into, which is actually quite comfy. It's quite nice. So it's just getting into that feel and being able to get to it from where you were before, which is why I think it's really good to start partway through what we did yesterday and looking at bar 17, 18, bar 19, the second half of bar 19. And then strawberry, and being placed with all 4 notes. Strawberry pie or cake or whatever else you would like to make with it that is 1 syllable. Okay? Work on those, then getting into that idea of pulling them together, and you might this time just start on. Now we've got to be careful there, so feeling that dum bum, strawberry, bum and bum. Ah, it's not an F, Mary. It is a G, and I've circled it. I should know that. It really will make a difference when we hit that G instead of the F. Makes it more interesting for our listener as well. Okay, so you can think of a different word, 2-syllable word that might work for the quavers that aren't strawberries. So it could be cheesecake, cheesecake, strawberry cheesecake, strawberry cheesecake. Okay, that's going to involve thinking through the hands. Strawberry cheesecake, 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 strawberry, strawberry, strawberry flan. Whatever works for you. Okay, so I had the strawberry and my left hand came in with cheesecake. Don't know about you, but I'm getting hungry. Have a go, keep it up, join me on the play along. Well done.